All right, good evening. On behalf of Colorado Prager fans, I would like to welcome you to tonight's debate. What's better for America, liberal or conservative ideas? Now, both debaters were chosen because of their passion for America and our political system, their ability to articulate their positions, and their respectful styles. So, let's get started.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for coming, and especially thank you, the Prager, Colorado listeners. It means the world to me. All right, I have 1 minute and 51 seconds to go, and can I summarize my life in that time? I probably can in some ways. I was born in New York. I lived there till I was 27, went to California at that age. I've been there ever since. I got to my 50th state 2 weeks ago, North Dakota. I kissed the ground like the Pope did whenever he visited a country. I love this country deeply. I love it more than I ever did. It was a gradual awareness of what was happening. I grew up in a liberal Jewish home in New York. Liberal Jewish is redundant. Nevertheless, I added both. One of the aims of my life is to unredundancize liberal and Jewish. That Jews think that liberalism is a form of Judaism or of Jewish values is understandable, since the rhetoric is beautiful. It's the policies which are not beautiful. The rhetoric is gorgeous. And so I grew up that way. I never voted for a Republican until Ronald Reagan, and that was the first time that I did vote for a Republican. It was harder than the first time I ate non-kosher food. And I mean that sincerely, because that's how you were raised, that it's a sin against God and man to be a Democrat, to be a Republican. And as it turns out, I went to graduate school, and there I began my long trek away from the left, when I realized that I was taught mostly things that were not true, like men and women were basically the same. I was taught that by people with PhDs. It came to the point where I realized that most foolish things are said by the well-educated. It's a very serious problem in America, and it is one that I fight a great deal. Only the well-educated believe that men and women are basically the same. Only the well-educated believe that the Soviet Union and the United States were morally equivalent. Only the well-educated think that Israel is the villain in the Middle East. Something happens in college to warp the mind. Or warp the moral compass, really. And this is part of what I battle every day on the radio, and that's me in a nutshell. Thank you for coming.
Hello there. I'm David Sirota. I want to welcome Dennis to Denver, and I want to thank you all for coming out and organizing this event and inviting me. I really appreciate the invite, and I really appreciate the grassroots nature of getting the word out for an event like this and a discussion like this. I think it's an important one. To the libertarian conservatives out there tonight, I hope you didn't feel uncomfortable driving on roads to get here, or I hope you don't feel uncomfortable being in a public school. A little bit about me. I grew up outside of Philadelphia. I went to college at Northwestern for journalism. I went to work on Capitol Hill for the only independent in the United States Congress, Bernie Sanders, who is now a senator from Vermont. One of our best allies on Capitol Hill happened to be Ron Paul. So before you have any illusions about what this debate is going to be about, understand that I am not going to be an orthodox big D Democrat. I consider myself a progressive, and I differentiate that from liberal, and we'll get into how I differentiate that as we move on. I moved from Washington, D.C. after working on the Hill to Montana, where I helped a guy named Brian Schweitzer become the state's first Democratic governor in 16 years. And I lived up there, and I moved down to Denver about a year and a half ago. My wife goes to University of Denver. My brother lives here as a physician and is a Dennis Prager listener. Although he is a progressive, he likes a diversity of opinion. And I'm looking forward to tonight to getting into what's really important in our country, where our country is. I, too, love our country. I think our country is going in the very, very wrong direction. I think there is a major silver lining of what's going on in terms of what's going on bad in this country. And I think this is a moment of opportunity for America to be the country it can be. Thank you.